a vision of seeing a world living in unity through love.
Oh, you know we had to do it, right? Brother empowerment.
It's been a long
Helping brothers to break through without breaking. With international viewership. That means that we are getting our message worldwide and nothing can stop us from showing our brothers and their family love. So you know we had to do it right. Come on now. Brother empowerment, we about to do it. Let's go. We love you guys. Come on,
let's go, let's go. My brother hit my phone, said, bro, let's go, let's go. We gotta build a home, we gotta build a throne, somewhere that we can roam. Let's get these brothers up to start to build each other up. It's time for us to level up and power. Yeah, we stepping up higher from the fire that ignited from the heavens up. Now it can't expire, cause my brother's always checking up. On me, put your blessings up. Homie, never letting up. On me said, call me if you need, and couldn't believe it. I finally found brothers that's healing, now I receive it, cause they invited me to breathe in all of the meaning of the true brotherly love. Just what I needed, man, it's such a vibe to build with brothers through the struggles. Man, it's such a high to have them help you through your troubles, make you feel alive. Cause as they raising your spirits, you start embracing your fearless. You can't deny that you're clearing all the demons from your heart, wishing it from the start. To any brother that wanna step in and be a part, cause it's easier to do it together than be apart. Hope to be the beacons of light that can shine in the dark.
come on, let's go.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's Thursday, so you know what that means.
It's Brother Empowerment Day.
And if you are new to the show, where you been? Where you been at? But no, Brother Empowerment is a show that is designed to help our brothers and their families to break through without breaking. This is not one of those bashing shows. So we're not going to be talking about what you shoulda, coulda, and should be doing, but this is an opportunity for us to engage in a healthy dialogue and hope that maybe something that is shared will give an opportunity to make a positive impact to our brothers, their families, and those that they share communities with. So before we get into our special guest, I'm not going to go to you first. E, How was your weekend?
Okay.
Your week, whatever it was, all of it. How you been since we seen you last?
Pretty good. It's been a while. It's been a few weeks since I've been on the show, but pretty good. I just started a new occupation. It's teaching me a lot. I'm liking that a lot.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm in training right now, and it's going pretty well. Shout out to all of the brothers and the sisters out there listening.
Awesome. So, bro, how was your whatever? Your week? It's your go.
My whatever.
Yeah, your whatever you want to call it.
Nah, the week has been pretty dope, man. Really just been getting back focused and recalibrated on things. Stuff is still expensive. That's not changing. But I've got back in the gym like I was supposed to, and just been putting some structure towards my day when I'm not working, because work has been picking up. But it's okay though, because it helps the day go by faster and I stay busy. So, it's been pretty all right, man. How about you, bro?
It's been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
This week it's really been good. I don't know if you have been following my journey, but I'm going back to the days where they had house phones.
I was about to say, which journey? That one. Okay.
It's not like me, you're a hater.
No, I was asking.
You can stay in this generation. I'm going back to analog era.
No, I'm here for you, bro. I'm gonna call you on that house phone.
No, I'm not giving you the number.
Okay, I'm gonna get it from somebody else. And when you pick up, hello, I'm gonna be like, okay.
Not hello. But yeah, I've been having so much fun looking at house phones, catching up on them, and looking for phone booths. I haven't found any phone booths just yet. So if y'all see a phone booth, take a picture and tag me. But also, I had an opportunity to be on Table Talk Tuesdays podcast. That was Tuesday, and that was an amazing opportunity. Getting just acclimated with different things. I'm looking forward to having a break. I've been with the kids all week, and I'm looking forward to this weekend, which is a long one.
Yep.
And then we're going to be participating in the Martin Luther King March in the Fuquay Arena area.
Okay.
So I'm just excited, and I feel like ever since I've been looking at phones, it just took some stress that I didn't even know I had. We need to go back to that. Oh, and I got my two-way pager out. I'm going to start calling people that's in the contacts to see if they still got the number. I'm like, hey.
I saw all those videos, the house phone viewing video, the pager video. Yeah.
I'm like, it's only been 20 years. 20 years. What is that? Okay. So enough about me. We got a special guest.
Yes, we do.
Guess what, guys? This is our first guest of 2022.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Staci, tell the people who you are.
Hi, it's nice to meet all of you. Jay, you and I had a chance to meet before, but Cordell, Elijah, first time meeting you. I'm Staci Hegarty. I'm the Vice President of Equity and Inclusion for a company called Envision Rise. We are a diversity, equity, and inclusion organization. So we work with all kinds of organizations, from athletics to big not-for-profits to private companies, and we help them get better at not only being a more diverse company, because that's just part of it, but be more equitable, be more inclusive, make sure that people have a real sense of belonging within the organization. Because when people feel like that about the culture of their company that they're working for, not only do they stay, they get very creative, they get very involved, and they will take your company in a direction that you never even thought was possible. So I'm very excited to be here. Jay joined me for our last podcast of 2021. We had a great time, and I'm looking forward to tonight. And I am in Denver, Colorado, so I'm wide awake. You all on the East Coast are getting close to bedtime.
Can I ask you, is it hard to breathe up there? Because is the air like...
So I moved here about 10 years ago from Chicago, and it wasn't. It's not hard to breathe in Denver, but if you go up further into the mountains, even still today, if I get over 8,000 feet or so, I kind of get a little headachy and all that kind of stuff. So the trick is drink lots and lots of water. So if you come to Denver a couple of days before, start drinking a ton of water and keep doing it when you're here. You'll feel a ton better.
Okay.
So don't go to Denver. I got it.
Yeah.
Hey! But you know, you say that after about 6 months of living here, that your lungs are actually bigger. I don't know how true that is. I haven't done the research, but that's what they say.
Because of all the fresh air, I guess.
No, you struggling to breathe.
They working out more?
Yeah.
Trying
to muscle lungs. Come on, I got built lungs. Okay, so we got a couple of people watching. If you're watching, make sure you go ahead and put some comments up so we'll know. So you ready, bro?
Yes.
You got it.
Yeah, so we got my Booski, aka She-Hulk's in the building.
Hey sister.
She says, hey,
you click away.
Okay, all right. So we also have Chanel in the building. That's Elijah's Booski. Hey,
my
Chanel.
Yep,
and Jay's soror, Jay and Iconic soror. Let's see. Well, she's got a whole bunch of comments, but we also have, speaking of Iconic, he's in the building here in digital land.
You not hearing no spirit. You ditched us. Okay.
Oh yeah, shit. Okay, they having a conversation.
They having a whole conversation.
So she said we're gonna find a we'll find a Bell South phone book and look you up.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna be. It's not gonna be listed. I'm gonna be unlisted. And the phone gonna be off the hook anyway. I can't wait to hear that. You can't even tell me nothing. Okay, Staci, we do quotes on the show.
Okay.
And so we're gonna post a quote. They're randomly selected. We just want to know your thoughts on that quote. All
right.
And Elijah is our in-house moderator. That's Elijah Goldberg. He's gonna ask a question, I guarantee you. You ready?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Don't change nothing. Here go the first one. Go, you got it.
Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. J.K. Rowling. Yeah.
Staci, what you got?
Yep.
She thinking hard too. Look, the lip.
So, I've got a bunch of different thoughts going on. So, J.K. Rowling, I know a little bit about her foundation, how hard it was for her. She was a single mom. I guess that's probably true for her. I would think, but it's not I can't say that I necessarily relate to that. No. And I don't, I worry about her because of some of the things that she has said regarding our trans brothers and sisters in the world.
Mhm.
So that gets me a little bit sad because I was a Harry Potter fan and my kid was. And interesting. That's interesting that she said that. Do you all know her story?
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with her story.
Some of it for me.
Yeah, I'm familiar with her story. And I guess now more towards this quote for me, I probably would change rebuilt. For me, I feel like rock bottom became the solid foundation in which you build your life. Because once you hit rock bottom, you can't go any further down.
Mm-hmm.
The sky's the limit in what you can do. And I feel like sometimes we do build a lot of things on an illusion of a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And when we come tumbling down, we act as if we're rebuilding something, when in truth, a lot of that stuff was a mirage that we had.
Yeah. Now I can relate to that because there was a point in my life where I was very distraught, and from an emotional and a mental standpoint, I felt as I did hit rock bottom. But really, to Jay's point, that was actually me dispersing the mirage of what I thought was my foundation, actually finding it. So I technically wasn't at the rock bottom, but I was at a low place. And what I thought was rock bottom was just the mirage of some rocks and some equipment. It was really just the beginning.
And I think rock bottom's different for everybody too.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of look at rock bottom as starting from scratch. It doesn't necessarily have to be from a bad place. It just means starting from the bottom, from the base of whatever you're trying to do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing, because I do think when I think about rock bottom, I think about it in a negative way.
Yeah. From a life standpoint, technically that time I was doing great. I had just started a new gig. I had just bought my house. But on the inside, I had to, and to your point, I had to start from scratch. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Wow.
And think about being on rock bottom, like in your life though. That's when it's kind of the easiest to let go of things that are holding you back. Because you don't have anything. You're able to start on a clean slate because you pretty much don't have anything else. You almost have no choice but to go up.
And I think there's such a difference between people who can look around and go, okay, it can't get any worse, let's try to build it and make it better, and people who look around and go, this is terrible, it can't get any worse, and are not able to build from there. Mm-hmm. But just kind of stay there.
Yeah. Chanel said, when you hit your bottom, there's no place but to go but up. Mm-hmm. What's going on, Chef Williams?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, okay. Let's get on to another one. That was a nice starter one.
Yeah.
Hold on, y'all Harry Potter fans? Any of y'all?
I wouldn't say I'm a fan.
I'm not.
Yeah, I ain't a fan. I've seen a couple.
I definitely was, but not so much anymore. And it's been like 20 years.
Yeah, I could never get into it.
Yeah.
And the sad part is, like, I couldn't get into Lord of the Rings either. Mm-hmm. But I got into The Hobbit. But when The Hobbit came out, I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
But Lord of the Rings, I just couldn't feel it.
I love.
You should go back and watch that.
I'm not watching that. That's like watching. Remember when the Bible used to come out, the 10 Commandments?
Oh man,
that's what it felt like. I felt like Lord of the Rings never ended.
It might still be going on, as far as I know.
Yeah, I love the Lord of the Rings movies, but I don't really like the Hobbit movies. I don't really like those too much. But I do like the Lord of the Rings movies.
See?
And Harry Potter was boring to me, from the first one all the way to the one they have just recently. They're all to me very boring.
Brother, it's empowerment right now.
What?
You supposed to like the Hobbit.
Why?
Because we got to have the same thought. One mind, one body.
Okay.
One voice. Okay, I'm lying. But I feel like, yeah, I didn't like Lord of the Rings, but the Hobbit I will watch. I watched all of them. It helped me understand the Lord of the Rings. And I was like, I don't need to watch it.
Yeah. Now that's true. That's true, because I did read those books before I read the other books. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't read no books. Me no read no books. Let me see. She said, been a fan since 8th grade. Of what? All of it? We're going to go with all of it for Chanel. All of it. So let's get to the next one.
Oh, no, she's definitely a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah, I'm going with all of it. Let's go to the next one. A lot of different flowers make a bouquet. An Islamic proverb.
Oh, that's a sweet one. I like that.
Yeah.
That's probably the most gentle response we've ever had on the show.
I definitely do think so.
What's not to be gentle about? It's flowers in a bouquet. Yeah, I mean, I think that sums up what I know we're trying to get people to understand, that this is not, a bouquet of roses is nice, I guess, but it's much more interesting and much more beautiful when you add a whole bunch of different kinds of flowers to the bouquet. So yeah, I like that. It's a good way of explaining diversity.
Yeah, when I think of this quote, it just makes me think of variety, but with just life. I mean, if you go through what this says to me is, if you go through your life having the same kind of everything, the same experiences, the same thoughts, this and that, then the picture, or the bouquet in this sense is not complete. Having a variety, everything, having a different set of experiences, talking to different people, getting different thoughts or anything like that. To me, that completes the picture, because you grow that way. I think doing the same everything or having the same everything all the time, it keeps you the same. And I don't think you grow that way.
Well, and that's a really good point. So if you think about the way flowers grow, they don't all grow the same in the same soil. They don't grow in the same sunlight. They don't grow in the same temperature. So what one flower needs to really thrive, another one needs something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to be honest, I just got the same thing. So it's like, that's just a beautiful. It's like, it's so absolute, you don't even argue. Like, what can you say? Like, it's not true. Yeah, I don't have nothing. E, you got anything?
Well, there's a few different ways to look at that. Like a collective of different flowers make a beautiful bouquet, because you got roses, you got tulips, you got daisies, and and there's also each group in itself. Like, you could have a bouquet of roses, you could have a bouquet of daisies, and if you look at that in the human form, it's saying not just your flowers make a bouquet. Everyone else's flowers can also make a bouquet.
Oh,
yeah, bro. I like that.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
E, where you had that written down there? I like that.
It's right here. It's an Islamic proverb.
He pulled out the Brooklyn hat. Just, here you go.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I do.
Yeah. I really do like that, because a lot of people do get caught up in what they have. Well, Staci, we kind of talked about this too. Like, even in the DEI space, like, Love is a Parable is not a DEI by label, by definition, organization, but we were engrafted in because we help people identify their values. Mm-hmm. But a lot of our work came from, or a lot of people sought us out because a lot of people thought they had DEI in the bag. You know what I'm saying? They weren't open to anybody else. They weren't looking to partner. They felt like they had it all. And unfortunately, some of those organizations did cause more damage than good, because they looked at themselves as the exclusive bouquet.
Yep.
So, yeah, that got me.
Yeah.
That was really good, E.
That's good. I like that.
Chanel said, just like they say, America is a melting pot.
It is.
This one, Facebook user said, hey, everyone, but we don't know who this Facebook user is.
Hey, Facebook user.
Hey, Facebook user, you. Okay, you got it, bro.
You don't drown. Did we do this one already?
We did it?
No, it sounds familiar, but maybe we didn't. It said, you don't drown by falling in the water. You drown by staying there. Edwin Lewis Cole.
I don't remember us doing this.
Yeah, it might have been a similar quote. Okay.
Oh, it might have been a quote you like.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, maybe. It just seems eerily familiar, but
if you liked it. Like, put that one in there. Kind of makes sense. Like, I've seen this somewhere before. Yeah, when you submitted it.
Yeah, no, that makes that really makes sense. I mean, this is one of the ones where it's just like I can't even say none of this because that literally is super explanatory. Like staying in motion in a bad situation is what overwhelms you. Getting out of that situation or moving at least in a positive direction is what can keep you afloat or keep you alive. Sometimes.
Gotcha. Oh, Connie, you gotta give permission. You gotta give StreamYard permission, and then your name will show up like it should. Rashia said, just like humans, we're all different, and together we complement one another.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was so beautiful and wholesome. I love it. I agree.
Hey, Connie.
Hey, Connie. Hey, Tara. You actually drowned from panicking, but I did.
No, I think that's true. I think that's a great point. So in high school, my first job was being a lifeguard, and I taught little kids how to swim. And the first thing we taught them was relax.
Mm-hmm.
Just calm down. Because if you don't really know how to swim, that's a problem. First of all, we need you to learn how to swim. Mm-hmm. But panicking is really what will cause you to drown. She's absolutely right.
Yeah. That's
such a great point.
And I guess it goes back to that other point, though. When you panic, what happens? It hinders you from moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I got from it that a lot of times we blame other elements for the things that we do. Well, if the water one day, I wouldn't have drowned. Well, if you'd have just got up, you wouldn't have drowned either. Mm-hmm. Or if you wouldn't have gone into the water knowing you couldn't swim, you wouldn't have drowned. But most importantly, I do agree that a lot of times we stay in situations hoping it'll get better.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, a lot of times it sucks the life out of us. And I'm talking about, this is from relationships. Mm-hmm. This is from jobs. This is even from negative thoughts that we have ourselves. Like we will stay there saying that things will get better versus leaving and getting the help that we need.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm wondering about how do you yell for help and let somebody know that you've fallen in the water and you're in trouble?
I can use a good example. Like, I'm going through a divorce. I met with the leadership team and I said, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. I don't know what I need, but I do know that I need you.
Mm-hmm.
And so each day, each week, it's a little different, but at the same time, they're on standby to say, okay, at least the lifeguards know.
Yep. There we go. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Rashia said, Cordell, was this a quote from the series we watched with Jason Momoa?
It might have been. We watched a series with him recently on Netflix called Frontier, and that might have been it. I have no idea. I just knew that quote right there is just, it hit like deja vu, almost like, you know what, this is really familiar. So maybe
I'm thinking like a quote where it's something about if you're pulling enough people out of the water, sooner or later you need to go upstream and find out why they're falling in.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Who gave that quote?
You would ask me that. I don't know. I want to say Nelson Mandela, but that could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. And whoever said it much more clearly than I did. But
I like.
Oh, somebody who's in the comments, go search it and see which one it is. Say it one more time so they can go look for it while we doing the other stuff. Say it one more time.
It's something about instead of pulling people out of the river, go upstream and figure out why they're falling in.
Gotcha. Okay. Anybody who can look it up, we'll greatly appreciate you helping us out.
Where's our resident fact checker? When
we need them. They want to all go out on the day. Okay, here you go.
Standing in the middle of the road is very dangerous. You get knocked down by the traffic from both sides. Margaret Thatcher.
I like that.
Margaret.
I like that. It's one of the things that I always talk about. Straddling the middle too much, too often, especially in a lot of situations, whether it be between two friends or whatever, it's gonna get you in conflict with both of them eventually. if you're playing both sides of the fence, I just say pick a side, stick to it, and you have a reason for it, but you gotta pick a side. Playing both sides just creates animosity everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. This quote really spoke to me because we talked about it last week, but being on the side of what's right and not on some particular side, while it can be a little uncomfortable at times, is so much better and is way better than trying to stay neutral all the time. Because at a certain point, then the neutrality is going to be called into question because you may not be on. You may say that you're being neutral, but you really are just on your own side. It's sometimes I think people when they're neutral, they're more so just really protecting themselves and they're really just trying to just not worry about what's going on because they're afraid. But when you're on the side of what's right, you're always, to me, on the right side because find out what's right is the common goal, or at least should be. And to me, in every situation, especially when it comes to conflict between friends, family, whatever.
Chanel's my where Bruce at.
Yeah, that's exactly
right.
Chanel. Where's Bruce?
Rashid said there comes a point when you need to stop pulling people out of the river. We need to go upstream and find out why they're falling in. Desmond Tutu.
That's what's up.
I like that.
Yeah, that's one for the books right there.
I love that. I mean, so we come back to it. Put yourself in hurtful situation is going to knock you onto your butt, one way or another. Got it. Mm-hmm. What is right? They can feel they're right and they not. Oh, they can feel that they're right and they're not.
Well, I mean, I feel like when we're talking about what's right, and we're not talking about in the sense of, somebody winning or having the correct opinion. We're just talking about like the truth, like finding out what the truth is. And contrary to popular belief, I think people, they know when they've done or said something wrong. They may not want to admit it, or they may try to double down, defend it, but they know. And so when we're talking about what's right, I'm just talking about the truth and really getting to the root of the issue and really just finding out where the conflict or the offense and all that started from.
And I guess I can kind of see her point too, because when you start on what's right,
mm-hmm.
that's more of a competitional stance mm-hmm. or competitive stance where people are trying to win something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was right, you was wrong.
Yeah.
And whereas if it's on the side of truth, it's irrefutable. It's not about winning or losing.
Mm-hmm.
It just stands. And now this is where I feel like from a values perspective, and I can even see how it falls into DEI, where that's what's stopping the growth because people want to be right
mm-hmm.
and not be truthful.
Got you. Yeah.
Like you have a right to your beliefs, but what are your beliefs doing?
Yeah.
You have a right to your actions, but what are your actions doing? And a lot of us are irresponsibly right.
Mm-hmm.
We have the things that we're doing, but we don't want to be responsible for the impact.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's more of the truth. I stand on the side of truth. I don't care if it is right or wrong. If it's truth, it's always, in my opinion, going to be the best route.
Got you. Yeah. That's what I should have said earlier.
No, you said it how you said it. It's fine.
There's a piece of this, I think, that is also about you got to make a choice. And you're making a choice if you decide to stand in the middle of the road and keep getting knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
But for a lot of times, the organizations I work with are in the early days hoping that they can get through some DE&I work without any pain and without any struggle and without having to take a stand, because there is right and there is wrong. And I hear sometimes we don't want to be political. Well, I get that, but sometimes it's not political. Sometimes it is just your integrity as an organization or as a person. And there is right and there is wrong. And how are you going to take care of that? And being in the middle of the road, just trying to smile and say, okay, we're a diverse organization and everybody feels good here, and not really finding out what's going on, you're you're not doing anybody any favors, and it's not very honest.
Yeah, there's really no way to eliminate the damage. It's just you want to minimize the damage, because you stand on one side of the road, you're gonna get hit by one side regardless. It's just minimizing getting hit by every side. You know, it doesn't make sense to just do that.
Mom watching. Hey, mama.
Hey, Mama Garnett.
She was just saying it was Desmond Tutu too.
She was off the top of her head too.
Because my mom is dope like that. Tara said, I think this quote is about self. Pick which way you're going. Staying there is dangerous to self. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Ask a squirrel, right? I mean, squirrels in the middle of the road, not making a decision. Where do they end up?
Right. On the road.
Part of the road.
Right. True remorse is never just a regret over consequence. It's a regret over motive. Is that mignon?
Yeah.
McLaughlin? I had to say filet in my head first.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there. True remorse is never just a regret over consequence. It's a regret over motive.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Showing that you're not just mad you got caught. You're mad you even committed the crime in the first place. You know, kind of like getting to the root of the problem.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
No, yeah, for real. Yeah. What's up, Will?
Our barber friend is
He's
back.
back from last week.
Hey, Will. He said, that's because a lot of people can't discern the difference between a decision and a choice. He come in ready.
He got that one wound up. But no, I
love it.
I definitely can relate to this, because there's been situations where it definitely wasn't the after effects or the results of what I did or what I said, but really the mindset I was in and the feelings that I had, or the motive going into the situation. That was something that I was wanted to take back as well, or change. So I can definitely relate to that. I mean, it's true. You just regret the whole thing, how you went about it, how you were thinking about it, like how you felt about it, everything. And I can say that hit home, because that was one thing that one of those situations was the stuff that happened between you and I. Like that, I definitely will express, but also felt a lot of remorse over not just the whole situation itself and my actions, but also how I was thinking going into it, and the thoughts that I had that led me to do those things that I did do and say those things that I did say. So this hit home for me really hard.
That's cool.
And I think, and it's helping me realize something too. This is what causes me to sever ties. I rarely do it, but I don't get so caught up in what took place, but I definitely look at intent and motive.
Yeah.
Like for instance, when people say I'm saying this just because I'm mad. No, you're not saying it because you're mad. You were looking for an opportunity to hurt me, and you're using anger as a form of intoxication to give you the confidence to say what you always wanted to say.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because there's a difference when something slips out, when something is intentional. It's a way that people deliver a message that they've been thinking about.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely. I agree 100%.
Like when they catch you off guard, you're like, you stupid. But when you start saying, look, use your word, you are problematic. You're like, oh, you thought about that for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what gets me, is that sometimes people are upset that they got caught.
Yeah.
They're not upset at what they did. They're upset that they got caught. And that's why I do tell a lot of people, if you do something out of guilt, you might as well not do it.
Yep.
Because when the guilt leaves, you're going to go back and do the wrong thing. But if you're not intentional about it, and so yeah, that motive thing stuck with me because that's what I look at a lot of times. It's like, what is the motive behind that action?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know why? Because the motive is almost as guilty as the action. You know, this quote right here kind of exposes the human heart in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
There are a whole lot of people that the only reason they don't do the wicked that's in their heart is because they fear the consequence that will happen to them if they do it. Doesn't make you a better person because it's still in your heart to do it. You're just afraid. That's all that really is. But addressing the motive in the first place and removing that from your heart, that's, true.
Yeah.
What you thinking, Staci?
I'm thinking about all the celebrity apologies we've been treated to over the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And how they actually, what they are actually saying. And what it often boils down to is, I'm sorry you're mad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry there's a community that is upset with me.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while, somebody will say, I'm sorry for what I said. I'm going to go listen more and reflect on why I said these things. Mm-hmm. But very rarely do we see anybody from that kind of position of power and fame talking about what those steps are. All right, so you're going to go listen more. Great. Who are you going to listen to?
Mm-hmm.
People who brought you to this place?
Yeah.
Or are you going to actually reach out to the person or the community that your words or deeds caused harm to and figure out what's going on inside of you that made you okay with saying or doing whatever it was you said or did. So I think this kind of goes to kind of that, I hate this phrase, this cancel culture phrase, because I don't think that's a real thing. Mm-hmm. But all these apologies that we're hearing because somebody got canceled, you've got a consequence is what you got. Mm-hmm. And very rarely is it actually a regret over motive.
I agree with that. Yes.
Okay, we got a couple. Will said, keep in mind, also words are just words. People's limiting beliefs are
what create, I guess,
are what create the meaning behind the words they hear. Okay. Clean it up for me so I make sure I understand. I sever ties for the same reason with ease. I know you do, sister.
Yeah, we know.
Blade, stay sharp.
Bushido blades.
Look, our resident fact checker come in after we need facts to be checked.
What's up, Bruce, man?
Hey, Bruce. He said they only apologize because they got caught or made someone upset.
Yeah.
Chanel said, I wouldn't associate cancel culture cause they trying to cancel things they don't need to be tampered with. Okay. She said she don't associate with cancel culture because they're trying to cancel things that don't need to be tampered with. Mm-hmm. Got it. It's so many things I feel about this because it also made me think about those individuals who will wrong you and get upset with you for feeling the impact of them wronging you. Mm-hmm. And then the ones who also don't know how to apologize. They'll be like, forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget like it never happened. No, you was, and that's when you be like, no, I need something.
Yeah.
But so it's people who don't know how to deal with the consequences of their actions, and they think that, and this is the thing, people will protect an irresponsible being very quickly. They will make excuses for their irresponsible behavior, and that person will feel empowered by being irresponsible versus people sitting down and saying, no, there's a consequence. And they'll say, don't hold grudges. I'm not holding a grudge, but I am holding a consequence.
Yep.
Because I can't trust you in a safe space anymore. So you can't come in here like a bull in a china cabinet and let you my good china.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't believe you earn respect. I do believe you lose respect. Once you lose it, you have to work on earning it. But I don't think it'll ever get back to where it is because of scar tissue. Mm-hmm. And that's because of people's motives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's talking about it's par for the course to say, the necessary things in order to calm a crowd.
Yeah. That's what they think they're doing.
But only your actions after will show if you truly meant what you said or your apology.
See that right there? What Bruce is talking about, basically, like there's a difference between apologizing and repenting from an action. You know, you just apologize, you say sorry, but when you actually repent, you actually don't go back to that way again. And that's what we're really looking for. Like, all right, you wronged me, cool, but are you going to do it again? Is it in your heart to do it again?
Yeah. Or are you trying to figure out a more effective way to do it where it won't feel like it felt before?
Yep.
Chanel said that loyalty will steer you wrong if you follow someone who is just loud and wrong. And the sad part is, I used to think that behaviors are associated with choices, but that's not necessarily so. We all have different behaviors, but it's no stereotypical way to do it. We all have ways of vocalizing things, and there's no stereotypical way to do it. Like, I can tell you you're wrong, but I don't have to have an attitude with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can choose to not associate with you without walking up to you saying, I'm not going to associate with you. You would know in my lack of association.
Yep.
You know, and I think that we sometimes pick the wrong battles to prove a stance. And I think that that's what pushes us in the middle of the road, because we don't know how to be, firm in our stance of who we are. So we waver in behavior, and before you know it, you back out here playing in traffic. And I think we miss a lot of that because a lot of us are irresponsible. Man, some of the stuff, that's why I'm going back to house phones.
You can't be irresponsible with my time.
Oh, my cousin from Hawaii. Hey, cousin.
Hey, cuz.
So is apologizing a healthy part of an interaction when it comes to communication of healthy forgiveness?
Yeah, that points me back to a quote that you put up on your page. Not a quote, well, it's your own quotable that you put up on your page a couple of days ago, bro. Where you said, yeah, it was your own quotable. Because you have a lot of them every day. You throwing out like crazy amounts of them. And so, but you said, you pointed to the fact that a lot of people say the best apology is change behavior. But on the quote I'm not gonna say the quote he used, but what he said was, no, that's false. The apology is the addressing of the offense and in the situation and what happened. That coupled with the change behavior is the best apology. There needs to be the issue at hand needs to be addressed. You can't just skate over that and just say I'm gonna change my behavior.
Well, I mean, I think there's a reason people who have an alcohol use disorder who go through AA, one of the steps is making amends. Taking a personal inventory and making sincere amends for the harm that you've caused.
Yeah.
And how many people have you known who've either cussed you out, or even people who have been physically abused, verbally abused, emotionally abused, and then they come in with some flowers or they come in with some candy. I changed. No, you didn't. It need to be an acknowledgement because the acknowledgement deals with ownership.
Yep.
If you don't ever acknowledge it, you're never admitting that it's wrong. You just want me to feel good about the offense.
An apology is an action. You know what I mean? It's not just words. Apologizing is an action.
And I feel like a lot of times an apology is a show of love and respect in a relationship. And if somebody is unwilling or unable to apologize, that tells me what they might be feeling about the relationship.
Yeah.
But I do want to add, just because my cousin did ask that, we have to stop assuming that an apology equates to forgiveness.
Right.
The forgiveness is on me. I don't have to forgive you. It's a choice.
Yeah.
And I have to deal with those consequences of unforgiveness, not the person. And so, but they have to deal with the fact that once, I always tell people this, once you do something to somebody, you have to accept the fact that you are now a feature in their story. So people was like, well, don't tell nobody about this. This is my story. I tell how I want to tell my story. And if I want to tell my story, I'm gonna tell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people don't realize that, just like when we talk about secrets, don't tell my secret. Once you told somebody a secret, whether you said it in confidence or not, you have just given them an invitation to be a feature in their story and you to be a feature in theirs. And so sometimes we are in a supporting role and we want to be the main character, and you don't have jurisdiction over that. If you offended me, I can even accept your apology and still don't forgive you.
Yep. Yeah.
It sounds mean, but it's true.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because there are people that apologize for selfish reasons. They're not really apologizing because they feel bad about what they did to you. They just feel bad about what they did and how they look to society. So it's like, to clean up my name so I don't look bad in public, I'm going to apologize. I don't really mean, I'll do it again, but I'm going to apologize because I don't like the way I look right now. So it's like, not every apology is worthy of forgiveness, because the motive behind the apology is necessary to know too.
So since we're talking about forgiveness, what do you all think about, there's this kind of sense in the world right now that forgiveness is required for your own mental health. That if you don't forgive somebody, there's something wrong with you, that you're going to carry a scar from that for your own mental health, and that you just need to forgive and move on.
Whew, I disagree.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I think it's more of bitterness. I think, and we sometimes couple bitterness, forgiveness, and resentment together, and they're all three totally different things. Because there are some unforgivables in my life, you know, and I'm okay with that, and I'm at peace with those unforgivables. And so sometimes, like to Eve's point, sometimes people will try to make you feel guilty. Well, what about forgiveness? You need to forgive me. No, I've accepted your action, but I don't have to forgive your action.
Right.
And I can be at peace with the fact that I don't forgive you, because there are certain trespasses that I don't forgive.
Yeah.
It is idiotic for you to think that if you do something to my children, I am going to forgive you. It is idiotic for you to think if you take a life, it don't matter who life it is, irresponsibly, that you should be forgiven for certain things. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things that are out there that are unforgivable, and we act as if, oh, well, if you apologize, all is forgiven. I do believe in rehabilitation. I do believe in reciprocity. I do believe in redemption. I do believe in forgiveness, to all of it to a certain extent. But I also believe, just like I advocate, we talk about this in diversity. One part of diversity is a difference of opinions. And I'm okay if I've done an offense and they choose not to forgive me.
Yeah.
But what I'm not okay is like you faking like you forgave me and you don't. And I struggle with faking like I forgave a person. I'm like, I really don't want to be around you, but people don't believe me when I say it. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I just don't have it. We got some comments. Staci Weenie, see all these. They say, sorry for being late, reading the rules and regulations of YouTube. That's how he get random facts right there. Shut up, Chanel. The motive behind apologies and regret. Yep. Forgiveness is not required. Some people don't deserve it, and they also don't deserve to occupy space in my mind.
Absolutely.
You better come through with the dope picture at that on the profile.
Chandra.
Hey, Miss Chandra. I believe that snake only sheds their skin to become a bigger snake.
Ooh.
Ooh, what you got, Staci?
Drop the one. I need help picking that one up.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Ooh. I got to think about that. That's dark. Mostly because I hate snakes.
That sounds like something somebody's saying, like a movie where they're about to fight or something like that, and the villain is like, this ain't my final form yet.
Yeah. Right?
But I think that's so true, because I think we're forgetting a lot of things. And all jokes aside, because I think that when you operate in purpose, or when you operate in purpose and who you truly are, there are things inside of you that come out to protect the integrity of that. And I think for me, and I was talking about the phones. Like ever since I've been looking at house phones, the stress in my life has kind of changed a little bit, and I'm getting clarity. You know, and I remember when Erykah Badu said that she's a digital girl in the analog world. And now it's like I'm flipping it in a sense of like analog wasn't that bad. And a lot of things that we thought would be better, they were only better because the alternative was a comparison. But when you absolve the comparison, is it really better? It's just that now.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about McDonald's, right? The McDonald's generation is a whole lot different than the Chick-fil-A generation. I'm just saying. You get what I'm saying?
As someone who's
and the chalupa from Taco Bell still busting. The chicken one. The chicken one, don't get that beef. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I've never had one, so I don't know.
We're going to get one. I'm going to make you eat one. Remember how we did the Impossible Whopper?
Yeah.
You're going to eat the chalupa. The chalupa still busting from Taco Bell, so people talking about, don't eat no Taco Bell. I'm going to eat a chalupa if I got it.
Yep, I totally agree with you. Yep.
Let's see. Felicia says, sorry, I'm late. I have COVID. Oh, so bear with me. I'm trying to get adjusted. I'm sorry.
Speedy recovery to you, Felicia.
Right.
Yeah, for real. Take care of yourself.
Now, sometimes it takes something drastic before a change in behavior can happen. Agreed?
Yeah.
See, Mama said for real. What you know about the McDonald's birthday cakes?
The what?
The same thing you know about that orange drink. McDonald's used to get that orange drink. You better dilute it because you would die. You would literally die. Staci, you remember the orange drink?
I remember the orange drink, but I don't know about the birthday cakes. And I also remember the cherry pie that was like 2 degrees shy of lava, and you really regretted it after you bit into it.
I remember that too. And they brought the cinnamon rolls back, but them cinnamon rolls back in the day used to be busted. I'm trying to tell y'all. See, when we go back to house phones, y'all gonna go back to McDonald's.
I'm not going back to a house phone, Jay.
Mama Garnett, I've lived in both generations, so I know. I used to tear up some McDonald's. Not anymore though. I used to tear up Taco Bell too.
Let me ask a question about. I'm sorry if I cut you off. My speakers are very low. House phones, right? It's a joke. It's funny, you know. It's kind of funny, but when you think about it,
is it?
Is it right? Like your cell phone, should you really be accessible at any time, anywhere? Like, look at this guy.
Hello. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but really, like, should you really be accessible anytime, anywhere you are? Like, never in history was anyone always accessible. You either had to send a pigeon or go talk to someone or call someone on a house phone. If I'm not home, you can't reach me. If I'm not in my car, you can't reach my car phone. Why is it so that there has to be a benefit to that, to being able to just detach sometimes and just, you know, yeah, I don't know. I'm digging the house phone or leaving your cell phone at home sometimes, but nobody's that brave anymore.
I'm wondering who's getting the pigeons first. Who's doing?
Don't get them started. Next topic.
That'll be a.
You see the look on his face.
Thank you, Staci. Just know you're giving me ammunition, and you may be tagged in them. Some people really don't understand the purpose of communication, let alone necessary process to deal with the different perspectives. When they don't understand, the lack of understanding provides a significant amount of opportunities for the situation to go south. All I'm gonna say is y'all can tell that's my cousin. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Felicia said, yes, birthday cakes is frozen, right? You have to unthaw them.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
You better do it right. You don't have it no more. But if you didn't do it right, you would mess up the icing.
Yeah, that sounds like a whole lot.
Oh, don't you judge? Don't you judge McDonald's?
I will judge McDonald's.
And you had that salted Chick-fil-A meat. See?
Yeah, I did.
So see?
I did.
I've always had well, we know why you've always had a phone, vampire. We're not going to get on that. Thank you. house phones are actually good to keep for emergency situations like power outages.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
You should be, but you also have the benefit of not answering.
That's true. That's true.
I taught 911 dispatchers for 16 years, and house phones are the best to locate you.
Oh,
I've heard that.
Hello? Yeah, I love it.
It's the hello.
Hello? Yeah, that's how you got to say it when you get a house phone. Let me see. DNA. D&D is my best BFF. I set boundaries with my phone.
Hey, you know what? She's got me on that too. At like 11 o'clock, D&D goes on my phone and I'm going to sleep.
At least you get 11 o'clock. Mine is 9:40. Chanel is 9:45, and that's it.
I'm a king of letting the phone ring anyway and text you. I can have a phone in my hand and I'm waiting. I swipe it to the side and let it go out.
Guilty.
Jay says that hello on the text message. Hello. Still ringing. Hello.
Right. Leave me alone. But I think that's one benefit that I did have. Like, I can emotionally detach from situations, and I can do the same thing with phones. Like, it don't bother me one way or another. But I think for me, it was where I was when I was on the phone, like when I had the house phone, where I was in my time of life. Like, you know how you think life is so bad and you like, because this adulthood is really the true ghetto hood.
Yeah.
That thing is not fun. Not fun.
Yep.
And just how things, like I was looking up my two-way page and it's $149. It was $15 back then. And it was such an effective way of communicating. And it's what we do now. I just text people anyway.
Yeah.
It was like perfect for me. And I think that what happens is that, which goes to our curriculum, we help people return to who they are. And there's a difference between looking back and returning. And so in the process of returning, you get an opportunity to notice things that you may have taken for granted the first time going through. You know what I mean? You ever was driving somewhere and you focus on getting to that destination, but on your way home, you was like, when did they put that there? When did they do this? Well, you do the same thing in returning. And I think it's okay to return. And I think our life, our soul has a way of helping protect our sanity by saying it's okay to return. Return to that place where you deviated from whatever brought you fulfillment.
Yeah.
What my mama say, I can remember when we left home to keep from answering the phone. Now we can't leave home without the cell phone. People actually go back to get it.
Guilty.
Look, we all the people.
Guilty.
She the people too.
I'm definitely guilty.
Look, every time my mama leave, let me tell you what my mama do. She be like, I'm like, Mom, what's wrong? Thought I left my phone. Chanel say, I miss slapping the phone shut
now,
with the flip phone.
Now that was fun. No doubt about it.
Oh, if anyone has 3G phones, you gotta upgrade this
They
shit.
still make those?
Yep. We all watch a phone ring before it went to play a game or opening some app.
Yeah.
Cordell, you can't complain about me anymore. I go to sleep after 9:45 p.m.
Because she used to go to at 9 o'clock. She used to be out.
That was true because she was like at 8:30. She was like, "Let me get ready for bed." I remember that too. She was like, she did not play no games. The best thing about landline phones was hanging up with purpose.
You mentioned that, bro. Just it's some emphasis on that thing.
I'm gonna just leave it off the hook. I own a dope camera that happens to be.
And now you know what, and that's what some people use their phones for, storage and taking pictures. They just happen to be able to text and call on it.
Right? Can you block numbers on land? Yeah, you been good.
Yeah, and it has caller ID to show up on your TV and stuff with some of the phones.
Oh, we done made it. Look, y'all, we made it to the time.
Yep.
This was so much fun. This was so much fun. So, Staci, this is the time where we do what is called Positive Brother Shout Out.
Great. Let's hear them.
And this is your opportunity to shout out brothers who probably are not normally recognized, who are making positive impact. And so we just want their voices out there to let them know that we appreciate them and things like that. So
you're first.
You're first. Let's hear them.
No, you're first. We're going to hear yours.
You know, for me, it's all the men out there who are doing the really hard work of that's not recognized, of working on themselves. And what you all are talking about here is being really thoughtful about who you are and the way you show up in the world and why you do the things that you do. And for the men who are actually taking the time and taking that journey, that's an amazing thing. I love it.
E, what you got, bro?
I want to shout out to all of the best friends. Everybody out there who's a good best friend to another brother. Just want to shout you out because you are a safe space, a place of refuge, a fun partner and all of that. You know, shout out to the lady partners too. But when you are a best friend, you got, you know, your bros, that bromance, that there's nothing like that, man. So shout out to all of the brothers who are a safe space to other brothers.
I think that's the first best friend shout out we've ever had.
Yeah, that was like actually kind of emotionally dope.
Yeah, like that. Man, he's breaking all the barriers and all the stuff, man. Just see, that's why you here, man. That's
Elijah Goldberg.
Like the name says. Oh man. So this is my turn. Well, I want to shout out a couple brothers. I want to since I haven't shouted them out, I want to shout out Uncle Marcus. I want to shout out Keon. I want to shout out, Stevie. I want to shout out Kerwin. I want to shout out Ricky the Beard. And my brothers, my literal brothers, blood brothers, Chris, AJ, and Nick. I'm going to shout them out. I don't think I've ever done that before. But really, I also want to shout out to the brothers that are really just on the side of truth, like we were talking about earlier. That right there, to me, can resolve a lot of conflict before it even starts. If we're on the side of truth, we don't have to worry about being on each other's side because we're always supporting each other. We're always getting to the root of the issues. So being on the side of truth and walking in the spirit of truth at all times, I want to shout out the brothers who do that because that's one of the main things that our community needs. Because it'll help resolve a lot of ills and cure a lot of things and set the next generations up for success.
Whew. Yeah, I'm just because you and I were kind of on the same wavelength because I was sitting there thinking about, like, I wasn't going to say best friends, but it's like those friends that you really can just retreat into.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always public. It's just some of them. And you were on my mind, but I ended up speaking to another brother this weekend, Hananiah. And the very first thing that he said was, how can I help you?
Mm-hmm.
Not like he answered the phone to be like, how can I help you? What do you need to do? And I told him some ideas that I had, and he was like, oh, say no more. And there's so many brothers that are like that will literally give you the skin off their back just to make sure that you're great. And like Tadao is one of them. Corey Hyde that we don't see often is one of them. Ian Parks is one of them. Kerwin Pittman is one of them who don't do anything, but if you call them and say, hey, I need this, thank them. And unfortunately, Elijah, you've been one of those that a lot of people didn't know how close I was to you, didn't even know what our relationship was. And you've always been the same. You never really switched up. And I think the world needs more of those beacons and pillars that just stay there. Because a lot of people are flaky. So I just think brothers like you guys who are just constantly there. And I'm excited. Staci ain't a brother, but I'm excited because it's also showing you and showing our viewers why it's so important for brother empowerment and for me to separate just a little bit. And you've been riding with me from the very beginning before we even knew anything. You're crazy. Don't know what we're going to do. And you talking about, I do it. But brother empowerment is so necessary to stay in that space. But there's so many other things that I have to do because of purpose in our organization. And that's to meet people like Staci, where we partner and work together and do different things. So this is not just, you know, an episode of Brother Empowerment, but this is the future of getting with organizations that we want to get with and partner with, because we've been partnering with some major organizations, and it's so necessary to have brothers like you guys in place. And so I'm so grateful for you, Cordell. You know that, man. I mean, yeah, it's literally been you and I running this business sometimes when nobody else was. And I'm just grateful for you, E, for always staying true. And I'm just excited about the next move of Brother Empowerment, because we continue to be light. It's going to cast out that darkness, even the darkness in those we treasure the most. So it's been very true for me. It's going to continue to be true because truth is truth. And I'm just excited to see what we're going to be doing next. So Staci, stay connected. Yeah, we enjoyed having you on the show.
Yes, we did. Thank you so much for bringing me on. This was wonderful, and I'm going to continue to be listening when I can during the week. This is great. It's a great time.
Awesome sauce. So Staci, stay on for a minute. Everyone else, we'll see you guys next week. And if you feel like there is nobody in this world that loves you, you just met 4 people that do, and we'll see you guys next week.
Cause as they raise in your spirits, you start embracing your fearless. You can't deny that you're clearing all the demons from your heart, wishing it from the start. To any brother that wanna step in and be a part, cause it's easier to do it together than be apart. Hope to be the beacons of light that can shine in the dark.